Forging links.
Forging links.
Forging links, one person at a time.
So I actually didn't end up going, but spent all Christmas in flipping hospital for the first time in my life. I missed all my Christmas presents. But getting the chance to go over last week was obviously a bucket list. And I tell you what, you talk about right time, right place, right space. I mean, we hear those words quite often. What impressed me was, I mean, I'm from Liverpool. I mean, come on, Liverpool has been one of the oldest cities in the UK. We were involved in, we were the biggest shipping port of slaves to America and around the world. Literally the whole city of Liverpool was based on shipping as a maritime city. And now when I compare Liverpool to Dubai, it's almost like a rags to riches thing. We've become the rags and the riches are in Dubai, which with that. But if I were to go back to early 1600s, 1700s, we would have been the riches and everybody else would have been the rags. So the point I'm trying to get across here is that you have to move. You have to get up and get out and move with the times. Otherwise, you get left behind. And I think Liverpool now as a city is, I actually, when I came home, I thought, flipping it, what a trash place this is now. And yet I love the city. But, there was litter everywhere. There was, things that you kind of don't see when you live there. You kind of accept it. But, in Dubai, I mean, they were sweeping the floors. They were sweeping the roads. They were sweeping the pathways. They were just so into keeping the place looking beautiful. And I think, most people, most cities that have been established 200-300 years, they've kind of lost that vision. So yeah, really impressed. Beautiful. Too hot. I mean, flipping heck, I think the coolest day was about 43 degrees. The hottest day was 48. So
48.
Just, I mean, I went in the pool for 2 hours and it burnt my head. my head was like, all night I could feel it. It was totally on fire. But inside it was all air conditioned, and wherever we went to see the big, what was the old palace and all those new buildings. The biggest, tallest building in the world. And just beautiful. I was just so impressed with the place. But what excited me was looking at what we're doing, which is obviously cryptocurrency. They are becoming the capital of crypto.
Yeah.
The amount of investment, the amount of companies, the amount of new industry that's being generated. Everybody's talking. I mean, at the end, they have probably about 40 people just walking around, wiping your table, picking your drink up. Do you want another drink? Service was next to nothing. But I just said to the guy as we were leaving, I said, don't mind me asking, thanks for your service. You've done a great job while we've been here. I said, how long have you been working here? He said, 8 years. I said, oh, so you're the owner of the hotel then? and he just laughed, because to him, 8 years, I mean, that's a long time to just be, a service waiter. That's all he was doing, just hospitality, just walking around, making sure everybody was okay. And I just said, are you familiar with cryptocurrency? And he said, oh yeah. He said, we're all doing crypto. So this city, this country, Dubai, they are really into this new technology that we're in, and perhaps don't fully appreciate yet.
That's what,
so to see
that's something my husband and I were looking at, because they don't pay taxes on crypto over there, do they?
No.
And so
they've given it.
We were looking at, because you can get a visa. It's called is it a remote work visa, where if you're working online, you can get a work visa to live in Dubai. Yeah. And I was just going to try and work out, we could probably spend 6 months there and 6 months, or 3 months there, 3 months, wherever we want, because you can rent like a studio apartment, nothing fancy, but a studio apartment, for like 15,000 New Zealand a year. And
Well,
I
I've
thought,
got
we
you.
could rent an apartment.
I've got news for you, partner. We're going to have one because for those of you who don't know, we might as well break the news. 4G Links is now an official limited company.
Yeah.
We are now officially registered in the UK, and yeah, we will be having an office probably in Dubai at some point.
Offices, worldwide
because
offices.
yeah, well, the thing is, I'm now licensed to travel. I've now got all my documentation. I can travel anywhere in the world as an ambassador of crypto education. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to be working with Ruthie, you know, in Nigeria, and anybody else after it. One of the things that we saw was how I don't know whether anyone's familiar, but certainly the last 2 months, Brazil has collapsed. Their economy has collapsed. And they've now licensed Bitcoin to be their actual currency. So they're actually letting anybody come in and educate their people about crypto. So guess where I'm going to be going shortly.
It's funny too.
Actually,
my husband, Paul, his name's Paul too, so it gets hard to separate. But my husband, Paul, was saying this morning, he was listening to something last night where, you know, if you're looking at what the Western world's saying, the Western world's like, oh, crypto's going to crash and it's a terrible space to be and it's so volatile. He said, if you look at the rest of the world is not saying that at all. You got to, it's just like anything else. You got to be careful who you're tuning into.
yeah, and just on that, for the benefits of anybody that isn't familiar with the Bitcoin story, with any technology, not crypto, I'm just talking about any technology. You know, I mean, I'm 62, I'm a Trekkie. You know, do you remember when Captain Kirk opened up the handheld communicator and said, beam me up, Scotty, which he never ever said. But here's the thing, that was ridiculed. That'll never happen. And here we are now, our kids are walking around with mobile phones, talking to people anywhere in the world. Come on, get real. Yep. So here's the thing, guys. Technology starts somewhere, it's ridiculed, then it's violently opposed. The internet will never work. Oh, why would we need the internet to send mail when we can go to the post office? You know, why would we sit at a computer when we can, you know, whatever. So whenever a new technology comes about, irrespective of what the industry is, first of all, it's ridiculed. Then it's violently opposed, because the ones who are in the space that is going to be disrupted, they're the ones who violently oppose it because it's going to upset them. So guess what? If decentralized finance is going to change the world, who does that mostly impact on?
Bankers.
The government.
Yep.
And the banking system. So right away, they're the ones who are violently opposed to cryptocurrency, not because it doesn't work, because it does work, and they want to try and stop it. But here's the third one. The third one, after you ridiculed and violently opposed, the third one is you adopt it with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, JP Morgan, the richest bank in the world, his daughter is developing JP Morgan cryptocurrency platform for their banking system. So they know the truth, but they want to, like with anything, they want to keep hold of it. They don't want to let go of what they've already got. Now they know they can't destroy it. Now they know they can't change it. The only option they've got now is to adopt it themselves. So that's where we are. But just going back to what you were saying, Kirsten, that's what Dubai have done. And by the way, the other country is Portugal. Yes. So those two, they've given people a 10-year license to come and work in their country tax-free for 10 years. So if you don't think crypto's going to work, yeah, well, Portugal's near, but having now been to Dubai, I'm afraid our office is going to be in Dubai. So I think what we'll do, as soon as we're in a position, I think we'll be buying a 2-bedroom apartment, and we'll just share it throughout the year whenever.
Yeah, I just wonder how long you have to be living there to be classed as a resident to get the tax benefits. But that's something
yeah, well, there's two options. I have seen one that says if you actually buy an apartment for about $150,000, that gives you a 3-year residential visa. And once you've been there 3 years, you can apply for citizenship. So who knows, I might be, yeah. But the point we're trying to say here, guys, is this thing about, you know, where we are, the space we're in, the technology we're in. You gotta get it. You gotta understand it. That's why we've really focused in on the education over the last few months while we've been waiting for Hyperverse to you know, get through its challenges, and then hopefully when Hypernation launches, we'll have a better understanding of where we go forward with that. But the thing is, get educated, guys. Learn this stuff, because the figure that we were given in Dubai was there are only 106 million people in the world that do digital currency. That is nothing. So if you're educated and you know this stuff and you can talk this stuff, you're going to be the people everyone's coming looking for.
Yeah, for sure.
When you go to shops and you're using your, you know, cryptocurrency debit card, and they're going to say, what? Whenever I go in the shop now, the first question I ask the cashier is, do you accept cryptocurrency or gold? No, don't you? Okay, you better pay on this one then. And then when the payment goes through, I say, oh, by the way, I've just paid with you with gold, by the way. Or I've just paid with you with crypto. What do you mean? I said, well, my bank cards are crypto and gold backed. I said, now you just accepted that as payments, but because of the transaction, it just converts it back over to fiat currency, whatever your local currency is. So even the world as general don't know anything about this stuff, guys.
Yeah, I was saying that the other day, driving to town, there's people that don't know even what I know, and which I know this much, you know. There's people that don't even know that, which I'm so grateful for. I know there's another girl on here, Dee. What this opportunity's given me and people like Dee and Charlene, like all of you, all of us, Ruthie, Yvonne, it's given us the education where we can actually shine as leaders. We can actually rise up. Like I know Dee's lost her immediate upline through what's going on with Hypernation and people getting freaked out and I don't know, losing the faith. But she now has stepped up and she's a leader for her people. And that's how I kind of feel too. Like we stepped up and we became leaders for our people. I would never have been able to do that 18 months ago. Like this has empowered me in so many more ways than one. So I'm eternally grateful, and I just can't wait for everything that's coming next.
Well, that's the thing, and what I like about what I saw in Dubai was, you know, here's a country that have really embraced it to the point that people are, you know, they just attracted so much business. And you know, going back to the Bitcoin story, for those of you who've had the time to look at it, you know, Bitcoin as it stands today has actually failed, because the whole idea of Bitcoin was that it would become a currency that people would use. Well, sadly, the only way a currency becomes a currency is if it's used. You know, you buy, you trade, you swap, you interact there. But what happened when the price of Bitcoin went through the roof and, you know, everybody started getting mass wealth from it, it became an asset. So in the end, people didn't want to trade it because it's too valuable. You don't trade. You know, I don't know whether I've shared with the group. I think I have. Gresham's law says you only give away that which you least value. So if you value crypto above gold and silver and above currency, then you're not going to give that away. You're going to keep a hold of it. So, but also there's another principle that we perhaps haven't talked, so it might be worth talking about, I suppose, is the first movers of any industry, the first people to create new technology, the first people to come up with something different, they don't always have the advantage, because what happens right away, somebody looks at what they've got and think, oh, hold on, I can make that better. So what they then do, they take hold of what, you know, Satoshi Nakamoto did with the white paper. They took hold of that and said, right, well, if I do A, B, C, F instead of D, I've got a better product. So what's happened now, that's where we got the likes of Ethereum, XRP, and all those other currencies, because they offered something slightly different than what Bitcoin offered, still based on DeFi, decentralized finance. But what it did, it gave other industries the opportunity to come to the forefront, because somebody had the intuition, the sort of the light bulb moment, said, well, actually, I can make that look better. And that's kind of where this whole new industry of decentralized finance has gone, because now I think it's 5,400 different coins now, whereas Bitcoin was the only one for a while. And now there's a whole ecosystem now being developed around crypto, decentralized finance. And the one thing that we kind of haven't really spoke about with regards to Hyperfund, is there was always talk in our white paper that the time would come when we would have to be regulated. Because, the company, while it was licensed to invest prior to what became Hyperfund and Hyperverse, they couldn't use that financial license to promote something through MLM, because that has to then become regulated. So they have to keep that kind of unregulated in order for them to carry it forward. But now, going forward, to go into the metaverse with Hypernation, they've got to go back to being legislated, because you just won't be able to trade. So now we've gone from being a financial instrument to being a non-financial instrument, to now going back to a financial instrument. And that's good in a lot of ways, because when you're talking to your prospects going forward with Hypernation, you're not going to have to be talking about pyramids and Ponzi's and this and that. You can say, we're regulated, we're licensed, the SEC have approved us, the FCA in the UK, whatever, New Zealand, or whatever Australia's regulatory bodies are. Africa is another one. I can't remember what country it was. It might actually be Nigeria. I can't remember. Ruthie, you might know the answer to this. But there are some African states that have actually licensed crypto, but there are an awful lot.
Nigeria is one of them, definitely. Nigeria is one of them.
They started minting their own coin.
There you go. So that's why I connected straight away with Ruthie, because I knew that when Africa opened up, that was going to be a mass market, because, as you know, Forza Link's motto is we want to raise 1 million people out of poverty. So we've now got a country in Nigeria with Ruthie, who's a global leader anyway. I can now work with Ruthie, and I can say, right, I can go over to Africa anytime that you're ready, and we'll go and talk to your people, and we'll help them get out of poverty. Because this platform and others, let's be honest, we're not the only pony in town. But I know Africa has also been scammed a lot, because everybody saw Africa as an easy cherry pick. Just go over there, promise them wealth, and they'll sign the dotted line. Well, they're probably very skeptical right now of cryptocurrency, because they've probably been hit a lot, as have a lot of us. I've been flipping heck. I think I'm on my 4th one, and the other 3, while on paper I'm worth probably 20-30 million, I haven't got what we used to call a pot to piss in. You know what I mean? Because on paper I'm a multi-millionaire. But can I get access to it? No, I can't. So, this is kind of what is indicative of the industry. While there are, 20 really, really good projects to get involved in, there's 5,000 you don't want to touch.
Yeah, and it's filtering that out.
Yeah, it's filtering it. It's knowing what's right. It's knowing what. But what I really love about going forward with Hypernation is we've now gone back to that regulated space, still in DeFi, because at the end of the day, however the rewards work, however the platform works, whatever the NFT does and all of that stuff, once we get our access to our rewards or access to our investment, because it will be an investment at that point, when we get our rewards out, we know that we have the education now that we can put that into a wallet
Yeah.
that is decentralized. Nobody can access it. You have total autonomy over your own wealth, and you don't have to put it in a bank. You don't have to put it, but the government don't need to know about it. And so you get best of both worlds, really.
Yeah.
So brilliant.
Sovereign over your finances, and that's the exciting thing. That's what got me excited about Hyperverse in the first place, and that's what's keeping me excited about Hypernation, because it's giving the power back to the people. Do you know everything that those videos, those Hypernation videos put out with Mr. H as the ambassador and the masks and everything that comes out on those videos aligns with where my head's at, where my heart's at going forward. So I'm going to be getting one of those 10,000 node packages as soon as I can. I'm not sure what that actually means, but I'm sure it'll all come to light as it rolls out.
Do we want to discuss that a little bit? Maybe some of them may haven't caught the powwow from yesterday. Has anybody not see the powwow yesterday? I know the recording's out in Team Distinction. Okay, let me just touch on a little bit.
I kind of don't really want to touch on that because,
right.
I mean, if people want to hear about it, because only for the fact, like on the powwow too, what was said is we're hopeful that things work out. I'm in a different space than that. I know things are not just going to work out, but they're going to be incredible. So when I jump on a call like that, I come off and I feel kind of flat because I'm not there. I don't align with what's being said. So if you just repeat what they've said, to me, it's like it's a flat thing instead of an exciting.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I can put a spin on it, because if you remember, sorry, use that, Ricky. Yeah, all right. Well, let me put a spin on it, because I've obviously got a lot more knowledge around the industry from where I think it's gone to where I think it is. Basically, what was said.
Yeah, I don't understand those thoughts. They don't. That's the same
as
me, D.
Yeah, no. Okay, let's get the elephants out of the room then. Okay, here's what was said. As we know now, that there's been two camps. Yeah, and I'm not going to fluff it. There's been two camps. The one that says, we kind of don't know what's going on, we're not sure, and all of that. And then the other camp is saying, look, we just keep going, we just wait for it, we just trust it, we just have faith, and all of that. So it's a question of which one you sit on. And I'll be honest with you, I've kind of been caught in the middle, and I don't apologize for that. Kirsten is so far right. I don't even know what the next one is, but she's 100%. She's in. She loves it. Blah blah blah. So here's what we do know. We know, and these are facts. This is Paul. These are facts. We know that there's going to be the NFT gets you across into to Hypernation. That's a fact. We know that there will be a 3x for anybody that purchases a new pack. So if you bring on a prospect, they will get a 3x. So if they come in with 500, whatever the minimum, we don't even know what the minimum package is
400.
yet. But
yes, we do.
Yeah, let's say it's
little presentations.
Well, I might have missed that in Dubai. Anyway, so 400. So you're going to get your 3x. So you're going to get 1,200 over a period amount of days, whatever those days are. So that's fine. That on its own, that's good enough for me. I'll buy a pack. Right. Whatever comes along with that, then, whether there's an affiliation, there's a 20%, a 10%, a 5%, whatever, there'll be some reward for obviously bringing bringing your family, your friends across. So that's great. Love it. Can't wait. The other thing that we know right now, as it stands, they're saying that they need what we call seed investments. So right now, Hypernation, as opposed to Hyperverse, they're looking for investors. So what they're saying to us as a community, for you to come across with your team intact, as in your genealogy, everything, everyone stays where they are and what they're doing, you have to pay 10,000 as it stands now. Okay. Now, for most of us, including me, that ain't happening. All right. I don't have 10K. Now, here's the other thing. If somebody wants to take the entire team, they have to pay 100,000. So I now know, and this is fact, that Keith Williams, who was in the positive, happy, let's keep going camp, he's gone in with 100,000. So what that means is everybody within the community of Hyperverse as is now will automatically come under Keith. Okay? But for you to bring in your community, you have to put in 10K. Now, I can't see the company maintaining that because that is going to disadvantage so many people.
Exactly. And it goes against what their vision is.
Yeah.
That might be
Absolutely.
like what you're saying. And like Anne just said, my team and I don't have money to fund new packages in Hypernation. So we won't be moving from Hyperverse to Hypernation. I believe for right now, what you're saying, that they're trying to get seed investment in for people, for those that can, because if you've watched, I don't know if any of you have watched the little mini presentation, there's a picture of a bull and a bear, and they talk of the butterfly effect. They're saying if you can give a little now, like great is going to be the reward when we get in there, and it's all going because Dee said she thinks it will change. I think it will change. I think they're going for the seed investment now, like the outside USDT. I believe, and this is a conversation I've had with my husband, I believe at a time, just like with the yellow box NFT, you came in first, they said it's 100 USDT outside, you can't use your rewards. But then for a window, they said, right, you can use your rewards. And that's when I went in. I believe, like we've got certified sitting there, everyone's saying, oh, we've lost it, they've ripped us off. I don't believe that. I believe there's going to come a time where they're going to say, right, if you've got certified, you've only got certified because you've been a team builder. So it means that you've gone to work for them to bring customers in, right? I believe they're going to let us use it. But this is all surmising on both sides. That's why I feel like I'm holding the faith. I'm 100% in. Like they haven't even launched yet. And we're all just saying, I think this will happen and I think that'll happen. I'm not worried about anything because they haven't even launched.
No, I think that is the key. You know, the key is, yes, we've got another, what is it, 10 days, something like that, 10, 11 days. So at that point, we're going to know, what exactly is the requirement. And I totally agree with you, Kate. And I think rather than lose the community, they're going to say, well, okay, we've managed to attract, how many hundreds of nodes for 10,000. I know I think there's already something like about, I think it was, what was it, 0.5 of a million, I think 500,000 already worth of nodes. So I know there's a lot of people already purchased them because they want to protect their community. But going back,
and they have faith in what's coming. I was reading through a thing this morning where I think it was Panicky said, Hypernation, like as a group, they've said, this is what you do. If you've got faith to come with us and move forward with us, this is what you do. There's some people that don't have faith and won't go forward, and that's okay because we're all adults. It's all a choice.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I can't see anything. I can't see that. I think just on what Dee just said, I don't think, this company would want to lose, 500,000 customers just because they got greedy. I don't think that at all. I think what they're trying to do is attract the investors outside of Hypernation. So what they're trying to do now is get the community in, get as many in as possible, get the genealogy right, bring and attract big corporate business in, because when they see that there's a massive community of 500,000, 1 million, whatever it is, there is a little bit of shaking going on, guys. I did the analogy of the olive tree a couple of months back. The dead wood, the ones who had all these mass accounts, they're all pretty much gone now. And I also, now this is my spin on it, this is Paul Gunson speaking, I believe that was the company's possible way of getting rid of all of those, because there is no way, if somebody had 300 accounts, could they afford to buy 300 £10,000 packages? Because if that's the only way that you can take your generation across, then those people were never, ever going to be in a position to be able to do that. So what it does do, it filters all of that out. What it then does is give us a kind of clean bill of health. And then once all that's gone, because they won't be able to KYC neither. They won't be able to come in with the 10K pack for every account. So at the very least it's going to do is reduce everybody to maybe one or two, three maximum accounts type of thing. So that's not a bad thing. In fact, that can probably be seen as a positive.
Yeah.
And then when they get all that done and they launch, although it has officially launched anyway, then they're going to come back to us as the little people and say, well, okay, you did go out, you did build, you did make the effort. Okay, we're going to reward you. Now we're going to say, okay, you can now use your certifiers, you can now use your HU. The one positive that came out of the team distinction call yesterday was, and I'm going to reiterate it, and I think you need to look at this and be serious about it, is save up your HU. Because if they, what they may do, just, and again, this is my only surmising, they may say to me, like, I've got 30,000 in certified. They may say to me, well, you can only use 5,000 of that, or 10,000 of that, or 15,000 of that. And the rest of it you have to use in HU or MOF or GNX or HVT. So by having your portfolio of your different values within our back office, we're going to be in a better position then when we do transition over to be able to, one way or the other, whatever dynamics we have to use. So right now, I would say to you guys, it really isn't worth pulling anything out right now because the price is so low, it scares the crap out of me, if I'm honest. So you might as well.
Fear, Paul. Gee.
The what?
Faith over fear, man.
Well,
It scares the crap out of you. Cool.
I'll tell you what, when 2,000 HU goes to $25, that scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, but you
Okay.
don't. You leave it. Exactly.
I'm not drawing, even if that was my last £25 they ever had in life, I'm not sacrificing 2,000 for $25.
No way.
So what I would recommend that you all do, and it's not financial advice, is store it right now for the next 10 days as HU. Just let your rewards come off. Don't do anything with it. Don't buy any coins. Just have a little stock of HU. So if the option does come over to you and you've got 3, 4, 5,000, whatever you've got, or even if it's only 500, it's better to have 500 than nothing. Just have that portfolio diversity within our own ecosystem, because they're going to have to do something. They're not going to lose the community.
Steve just said, when MOF rises, we will make a killing. Well, we'll be flipping millionaires overnight.
Well, I tell you now,
got staked and yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that MOF only has to go up to $1. It's been past $2 or $3 at one point.
It was like 280 or 275
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Now again, I'll hit on this because this is crucial to learn. Whenever you look at a graph and you see the rise of the price of a coin, whatever the ceiling price is, and then it drops, that's what they call the new ceiling. So let's say $2.50 was the ceiling, and then it's now dropped down, and it's gone to whatever it is, 0.00 whatever. For it to go back up, it will break that. It will break $2.50 at some point. So if we've got 500,000, 2 million, I think I've got about 6 million or something like that. If that goes to $2, then I am a multimillionaire. So right now I'm happy to sit on that irrespective of what goes on in the future, because I know without any doubt, that at some point the price of MOF, because we know MOF is going to be used in hybernation.
Yep.
And once we create that velocity again, and that money starts transacting again, buying and selling, then that price will go up, and it will go past 2.5. I'll be happy to take 2.5. I'll be honest, because that makes me 10 millionaire. You know, I'll be a multi-millionaire at that point. So I'll
happy to take $1.
Yeah,
I'll be happy to take $1. Oh yeah, when it gets to $1, I will take some.
I think some people will be happy with 10 pence right now. Because at the moment it's only worth about 2 cents. So yeah, even 10 cents will probably get you to 5x right away. So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so yeah, that was what I would recommend, guys, is just for the next 10 days, and then let's see where we're at. But for the next 10 days, just store it as HU, because it might just be that they say, well, we'll let you use so much of this and so much of that and so much of this. And then, you know, we can maybe then go across and probably all be in the position to buy a 10K pack at some point.
Yeah.
And
like because of forging, like this is what we're trying to accomplish with Forging Links, is we want to lift people. That's what we want to do. That's our ultimate goal. And we'll do that however we need to do that. So even going over into Hyphenation, if it means that we have to lift some people up to get across in there, like guaranteed we're going to do whatever we can. So just know that you're our people. So whatever we can do, we're going to do. We don't quite know how it's going to work yet, but just, yeah, even people like Anne, just know that you're here, you're supporting us, we're going to be supporting you 100%.
And just going back to what you said, you know, what Dee said about, you know, that there are lots of people out there right now who are hurting, not just because of the reward situation, but they've also lost their upline because, you know, some people have, you know, decided, you know, they don't want to go forward with this because, you know, they've got that fear element, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, and again, we're all adults, so they've had the right. And, you know, we admitted, you know, the other week on the call that even Kirsten and I, we had some massive issues between us because we were kind of, you know, we were coming at it from a different angle. And, you know, I said, well, look, I've got to find another income source. I don't even have a choice. So, you know, that's what I did and that's what I've done and that's what I'll be doing. But I'm still 100% confident that when Hyphenation gets all done and dusted, we will still have this community in Hyphenation with us. And there are going to be other things. We are diversifying, guys. I'm not making that rosy or pink or green or yellow or blue. We will be diversifying. Now, there are people in here who aren't in our community, and we respect that. We will not approach you whatsoever. It will be our direct team. You want to do something, you go to your upline, and if they're not doing anything, then you are an adult, you have a decision, and if you want to come to Forging Links and find out what we're doing, then you message Kirsten or you message me, you ask her privately. Well, in fact, message me. She's already stressed. She's got no. Yeah,
no, I'm just keeping up with Hyphenation. That's my, like Dee said, that's my baby. That's where my head's at. Like I've got my fingers in other pies. I know there's something that a lady here that has something that I want to have a look at for myself as well. But that's just for me. It's
like,
like,
now the elephant's out the room. Let's just discuss that briefly. Have you ever been to a wedding?
You don't become rich or become a millionaire with one stream of income. You've got to put your pies, hand in many pies. No one does. I mean, we all know that. Yeah. So if we had some of us are a little bit better because maybe we have an alternative source of income in this very, very trying time. But I can really understand with people who put all their eggs in one basket because
that was me. I didn't know that
came with it.
What you're saying, Ruthie, I didn't know that when I started. I'm a complete newbie to anything like this. I was a person like you go to school, you get a job, you work for 40 years, you retire.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. So this is all very new to me. So I was an all in one basket person.
I'm lucky. Yeah. I mean, even though my job, it's not a job per se because I'm a research fellow, and it's not stipendiary at the moment, but because I have a few properties that I rent out, so I'm comfortable, at least stable in this very, very trying time, just waiting it out and making. And if there's a lesson coming out of this, it is that you must look at other options. You can't ever put your eggs in one basket. It's not a crime. I mean, even the top leaders had other, businesses or other things they were doing. Even, I mean, like Sharon, like Dan, they didn't hide away from that. They said it. And this is a big lesson for everybody to learn. Nobody becomes rich with one source of income. It is said that millionaires have, at least 7 streams of income,
Yeah, I've just
and billionaires have 97 streams of income. That's the way it is. So you must plan for yourself. Everybody must look after themselves. It's not a crime to say, oh, okay, something's gone wrong. And this is one big thing that I have learned. To be quite honest, the good that has come out of this whole show is that it's opened me up. Like I said, when I first joined Forging Links, that I felt lost when Hyperverse happened because I'm really invested into it monetarily. I have a lot of money in it as well. But when and then everybody was offline, not say anything, don't even know whether they've left or they're. And when I found Forging Links, honestly, it was just my lifesaver. It's not like I have got any monetary benefit or anything, but just the stability of my mind. It helps me to focus. This is where I have met people like Paul at a closer level, like Jamie, and since then, I have moved on from where I was. So it's been a big advantage for me, this whole Hyperverse issue, honestly, a big, massive, you find the positive out of the negative. It's, the principle I follow. And I have found many since this last couple of months, honestly, I have. And I'm so happy. In a way, I'm thinking there is a reason why this happened. It must be because of me, because if it didn't, I would have been too comfortable in my skin and I wouldn't have moved on. But now the education, the relationship, I mean, myself and Jamie, we nearly every day we have a chat, and it's all to do with opportunities and things like that. So listen, guys, I think we've learned our lessons and we must look for other opportunities. When there was no leader for me anymore, I found you guys, and so you're my leaders now. So I'm an adult, and nobody. In fact, I've actually shared the Forging Links because my upline was in the same situation as I'm, and he's been scared to even talk to me about how are you coping. And so I brought up the subject, and I said to him, I said, listen, if you want to, I'll introduce you to Forging Links, and I've shared the link with him. So he might be joining. I'm not sure, Rupert, Paul, and he might be joining us. He is my upline's upline, actually. They have been really lost. Initially they ran away with Calpesh and then came back when the business didn't work. And so, let's just be positive. Can I just say one thing as well? Dee is on this call, isn't she?
Yeah, Dee, yeah.
I just want to appreciate that lady.
Yeah,
you don't know
awesome.
her. She is awesome, awesome, awesome. Because I'm on the HV strategy Telegram group as well. Yep. And she constantly is there helping people out. Or is it teams? Maybe it's the team distinction online, whichever one of them.
She's in the HV, yeah.
Yeah, and so many of the questions that people are asking, Dee is always on point and I'm also writing things down in answers. So please let me just say thank you to Dee. I just saw her. Yeah, she's actually on the line as well.
She's incredible.
If nobody has told you that, Dee, you are one in a million and you are an absolute lifesaver. Thank you. And when I joined Forging Links, it was Dee that actually invited people at the time to come and join Forging Links.
Yeah.
And so, and when I was registering and they did ask for who referred me, I just said, Dee, okay. Yeah. I don't know who she was.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. A true leader there has arisen. So this that we've been through, it's been like forging in the refiner's fire, and people like this are coming out. People like you, Ruthie, like I'm grateful all this happened.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah.
Anybody got any thoughts on what we've shared? Because this is not about us. This is about you guys.
Yeah. Anyone else got anything? Where are you guys all sitting? Charlene, where are you and Aaron at? How are you feeling? Hello, lovely.
Well, we're at a stage where really we're just rebuying, and we just want to know if that's what we should continue to do.
That's what I'm doing. I'm rebuying. I'm exchanging. I'm actually storing up HU as well, just letting some of it sit there so that if they say one day you can buy your 10K node pack with, like Paul said, half HU and half certified or something like that. We don't know, but that's what I'm doing. And if it's just sitting there as HU, I mean, you can, put it into your financial account and just have it sitting there. If at any point, because there's been rumors of them saying that they're going to use G and X as a withdrawal method.
And MOF.
And MOF. And if you've got it just sitting there, you can exchange it instantly and do whatever you're going to do with it. But I would, just
I mean, we don't really. We're sort of at a stage where we don't really can put anything aside. We need to put everything into rebuy, I think, or should we put some aside?
No, because I'll tell you what, I jumped on Boris's call. Boris does a daily mastermind call, and he said, this was a couple of weeks ago, and it really struck a chord with me. He said, people are saying, stop all your rebuys, stop all your rebuys. He said, if you could understand the power of the rebuy right now, so that's when I just started going. I was doing a little bit of everything. Now I've gone hard with the rebuy, especially to get my pending balance up. And it's just
but the guy on Pinaki's call yesterday gave a very, very good lowdown of what else to do, and this is the purchase of MOF and GNX
and DeFi,
and I think it was and DeFi, because it gives you a bit more extra as well. And I think that's a very, very, very good presentation that he did. So if you have enough, say you have them in thousands and thousands, I think you can sensibly leave some in, leave some for rebuy, but also more importantly, reinvest them in DeFi. I think it's very buy the coins, because God forbid anything happens. If Hyperverse stops being tomorrow, your coins are your coins.
The assets.
So you can always, they are your assets. You can always walk away with those. So it's good for you to be able to keep them, like the GNXs, like the MOFs. I mean, those are the best ones anyway, out of the three that Hyperverse has. There are three, aren't they? GNX, MOF, and HVT. I'm not going to accumulate any HVT. I have a bit there, but that's it with me and HVT.
I'm still buying HVT because they said it's going to be used in Hyperverse. Yeah, so I'm still
apart from staking it. So I'm staking that as well.
But
I didn't know what staking is before I came to this group, but now I know what staking is now.
Yeah,
so that's a lot to.
Can I just answer your question, Alan? That might just give you a bit of clarity.
Yeah.
What I got from the Team Distinction one today was whatever's going to happen with Hypernation concerning the nodes, the company from a compliance point of view, purely from a compliance point of view, they have to honor the contract that you've entered into. So if you do a rebuy, because I've got a rebuy, because right now my pending on my rebuys is only about 4 or 5 grand, 4 or 5,000 HU, sorry. So what I've got to do for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, I've got to rebuy, because that 6 days will give me over 10 grand.
Yeah, you got to keep the nose up of your.
Yeah, no, because my rewards are coming in that quick. That my balance does that. My balance does HVT every bloody day. It takes a crash because I'm getting 700 rewards every day. So I've got to keep rebuying to keep topping it up. So for the next 6 days, my 700, I've got to rebuy, because I've got to get my accounts up to over 10K, that if they do say on the 15th, right, you can now, shift your HU across and buy a node, well, then I can buy a node then. Right now, I wouldn't be able to, unless they said you can buy it with 50% with your HU or 50% with your certified. But if they said it's got to be 100% hyper units, then I would recommend that you, for as long as is now, up until the 15th, I would just go straight in and rebuy, because you want those rewards to get as high as possible. Yeah, get it as close to, if not beyond, 10K, because they're going to have to do something. They're not going to lose the community, guys. They're not going to forsake us after all what we've done. So for us going forward,
They can't take your action.
I would perhaps do that. Just rebuy, get your pending up, at least rewards HU wise, at least 10K, 11, 12K. And then, as you say, if they say, well, you've got to use GNX, then you can just trade it all for GNX. Or if they say you've got to, MOF, then you just trade it all for MOF. Whatever we have to do, we do.
Before we're a long way from that. We're a long way from, we're rebuying at hardly anything. You know what I mean? I'm still waiting a couple of days before I can do a rebuy and things like that. So
yeah.
No, you
can only do what you can only do. You can't make this stuff up. What I'm saying is, because we don't know what's going to happen. My biggest challenge right now is, if I don't buy the 10K, I lose all of my community. So I lose all of you guys, including Kirsten, because as it stands right now, I would lose everybody. So what I'm going to just make sure is that, because I know I can get my accounts over 10K, then that's what I'll do, so that I've at least given myself another chance of buying the nodes. Whereas if I leave as is now, I wouldn't be in a position to do that. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm just saying, as a strategy going forward, I would just buy as much of, turn your rewards into obviously HU, so that whatever then happens, if you have to go for another coin, we can pass it on to another coin, or we store it up until we can. Because at the end of the day, you're already in Hypernation anyway, just purely by getting the NFT. So you're in the system. What we just want to try and make sure is that we stay as a community. That's our goal, is to keep forging links as a community. And as Kirsten's alluded to it, if we're in a position to buy the node, then we do that anyway. We will buy the node, because that way then we do retain you. And then for the likes of Ruthie and Dee and anybody else who's not in our direct community, if your upline isn't going to buy the node,
well, they can buy the node themselves too. That's another option. They just take their community as well, which I don't think.
Because as I say, you will be in somebody's system. It's just a question of whose system. And for those going forward, we don't know whether we can, buy into a new system. Maybe just go under somebody else direct. We can probably do that as well. So yeah, just keep going, guys. Just keep the faith, as Kirsten would say.
I think
that's what we're gonna do. I mean, we're just gonna continue to rebuy. But this NFT, have we got NFT, or we have to buy NFT?
Did you do it when it was on offer, when we could have got it with HU? Did you actually buy one?
We didn't do it.
Again, I think at some point that will come back, if it hasn't already, if somebody can tell me differently.
No, it hasn't yet, but I'm positive it will, because that's how people are getting in there. Like until I was just going to say too, like before we finished up the call, is like, Dee said they did say it's coming back. We don't have to worry at this point, I think, because the worry, if you think about hypnotic rhythm that we talked about the other day, the worry brings the fear, brings the habit of worry and fear, makes it into hypnotic rhythm. So then what are we attracting? Worry and fear. We don't need to worry. There's nothing actually happened that we have to worry about. It's all exciting going forward. Just because we don't know how it's going to go forward, we don't have to worry. Like for you guys, you keep doing your rebuys. For me, I'll keep doing my rebuys and buying MOF and GNX and HVT, because those are the things that the company's offering, and those are the things I trust them.
Well, like you say, from a compliance law point of view, they've got to honour your contract. So if like tomorrow morning, or in fact probably tonight, you know, I can go into my rewards because I haven't actually been in my rewards for about 4 days. So I can actually go in now and I can do a rebuy. So while they've got the rebuy on offer, that's a contract. Now, if I go in tomorrow morning and find out that they've stopped the
rebuys, yeah,
then I can't do nothing about it. But right now, I can go in and I can get a 4x on my rewards. So that's a contract. That's a new 1,333-day contract. So I think I've got about 2,500 in my rewards. So if I go in with that now, that'll get me, in fact, just done the maths, how clever am I? I've got my 10K sitting there already, haven't I?
And another thing too, when you're thinking about whether I should do a rebuy or get MOF, and I'm saying do both, because yes, you're going to get a 4x with your 125 rebuy, but how many X are you going to get on MOF? Heaps X.
But this is what I'm saying, why we need to diversify even our own portfolio, because right now we don't have the answers to how we get that 10K. We know we're going to have it at this point, but at some point they're going to say, well, actually, we want to give everybody a fair chance to get hold of it. So you can use any of your coins. You can use X amount of what you've got sitting in certified, and they could say, well, any combination of all that, if you've got 10,000, you can go and buy your node. And by the way, you get a 4x on your node. So you go in with 10K on your node.
No, it's 5x on your
node.
No,
5.
Is it 5? So
5x. Yeah, 5x.
So yeah, so your 10K is going to become 50K. So everybody wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. We just don't need to worry. We go forward. We go and do all the other things that we're doing outside as well, diversify, but we just wait for the launch. If you haven't seen, has anyone seen the little presentation that they did with the slides? No. I'll get the video because it's on YouTube. It's just 30 minutes. It's Dee's seen it. Yeah. It's just a 30 minutes. They've just show a few slides. There's not much information in there, but I think they just add to it every time they do it. So I'll put that in the forging links. I'll just add the link in there so you go and watch that. And it gets me really excited because you'll see a slide there and it's got the bear and the bull. And it talks about the butterfly effect. And if you don't know what the butterfly effect is, go and have a look at that, because it's kind of like what you give now, you're going to get back tenfold.
So just on wrapping up, guys, we kind of alluded to it before about this diversification, and Ruthie's very aptly hit on it as well. Do you remember when you went to a wedding and they had the wine glasses and they started pouring the top wine glass and then it cascades down and it fills all the other? I want you to know right now, we now have seven wine. We've got 7 wine glasses, and we have another 2 that I'm looking at. Most of them are passive. It's not about going in and building other businesses. It's about passive. We've got gold, we've got silver, we've got other NFTs, we've got the opportunity to go into another opportunity, which we'll talk about later at another date. But what I would say to you is this: we've got to diversify. If you don't want to be part of Forging Links, then you have the option to leave. But we know that Kirsten and I have given our hearts and souls to this, guys. We committed last week to forming a formal company. We are now registered in the UK. We will be registered in Dubai at some point as well, because we know what this is potentially going to do for us. We are all on this call potential multi-millionaires. All you've got to do is learn, get educated, be prepared to allow your mind to stay open. Don't close it. Don't put the blinkers on. Don't cover your ears. Don't do the blind bit. Don't do the dumb bit. Be open, keep talking, keep listening. That's why we put this channel on. I think Ruthie hit it right when she said, there was nobody else out there. Even, Team Distinction went quiet for a long time because they too were struggling to come up with the solutions. They've now come up with their solution. I believe it aligns with what we're doing. In fact, we've kind of modeled our business on theirs, because at the end of the day, they were servant leaders, they were committed, they were on the calls, they did the powwows, they did the nuts and bolts with Cal Pesh. Still a great leader, still a great entrepreneur, still knows his stuff. You know, whether you're sour or bitter, or whether you're happy or glad or sad, wherever you are, doesn't matter. The guy, for me, is still awesome. As an entrepreneur, I've learned so much from that guy, but everyone's got their own opinion, a little bit like Marmite. The first day I tasted Marmite, I hated it. But after I had it 4 or 5 times, I used to, when I was in my autism days and supporting somebody, the guy that I looked after, he loved Marmite with a vengeance. So I was making him Marmite on toast every morning. But guess what? Monkey see, monkey do. So I was making him Marmite toast. So guess what? I started eating Marmite toast. And right now, I bloody love the stuff. So the key is, yes?
Add avocado to it. It's beautiful.
Oh, don't you start. I've got enough problems. I'll do that. But listen, guys, we love you. As I say, we are now formally Forging Links. As you can see, we've both changed our names now. And we're no longer Paul Gunson, Kirsten MacDonald. We are now Forging Links. My T-shirt is now going to be ripped up, because that no longer is relevant, other than the Crypto Smith. In case you don't know, Kirsten is Kingdom, and we are Forging Links, one person at a time.
Yes.
We love you.
We need a song that we can play at the end. Love it.
Yeah.
And any of you, if you have anything that you're doing that you think Forging Links as a group could benefit from, please contact Paul. I'm going to contact somebody after the call about something else, because this is about us all in it together, and we're all going to lift each other, and we're all going to rise together.
Well, remember, guys, two shots across the bow. We're all adults here. You make your own decision. If you don't like what you see, what you hear, you're free to leave.
Yeah.
If you like what you hear, you love what you hear, you're welcome to stay. We want you here. We certainly want to be able to lift you. And our commitment to you guys is being part of Forging Links. Whatever we can do to help you and your community, we will do everything we can.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, we've all got bills to pay as well. And you know, we're doing whatever we can to pay our bills. But, you know, the future's bright, guys. After what I saw in Dubai, I know it's bright, because I've never seen so much money in my life.
We're all going to be okay, is what the thing is.
Yeah.
Yay!
By the way, Paul,
I must have been. Go on, Ruthie.
I signed up on that Forging Links for Zenic as well. So there should be a bit coming in for Forging Links. Or you've been told that, or you've seen it, have you?
Spent.
Spent already.
It's already spent. What do you think keeps me in petrol right now?
I know.
No, listen.
So that's
and again, Ruthie, I have messaged you. We do need to speak, because
yes.
I've got a feeling I've got a better option of going to South Africa before I go anywhere else. I will be going over to New Zealand, hopefully in August. All my paperwork is now ready. All I need now is the ability to get a ticket. And I'll be coming around everyone's house for meals, because I won't be able to afford any. So yes, Yvonne, don't you be laughing. You be buying some meals.
Avocados on the
and Marmite.
Yeah. So yeah,
Brilliant.
and then I'm going to try and get over to
And
Australia.
you're welcome to come to New Zealand. You're welcome to come. I got plenty of room. Come.
Fantastic.
No, I'll be definitely. That's it. I'm planning on August.
Friendship. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, love you loads, and we'll.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
What's that?
Are we on tomorrow?
No, I just wanted to bring this one back to once a week, because I didn't want to be bombarding people. And there's, like I said, now it's wonderful, because there's lots of other things that people can jump on. If you guys aren't on Pinnicky's call, jump on Pinnicky's calls, because he is. I haven't been able to be on the last couple, but he's brilliant.
Kirsten, can you
Please,
do me a favour, because you know I'm a man and I don't do multitasking. Can we put a bit of a PDF with all the different Zoom times on?
When he says, can we?
Because
Yes, I can. Yeah.
we?
Well, the reason why I said can we, because you told me to get on the 5 a.m. call, and since I've gone, you jumped off. So
Yes, I will do that.
I'm getting up at 4:30 to do a mastermind class every day, and she
But
got
that's
off.
the trouble.
It
It's
was
if
hard
it
for
was
me. I couldn't
4:30
keep
for
up.
me, it would be great, but it's not 4:30 for me. It's like 4 p.m. and that kind of is just not a good time, but we'll see. All right.
And do you think 5 a.m. is a good time?
It is. It's a great time.
No, not at all. I couldn't
Listen,
cope with-
what I will say, I've achieved
Yeah.
more by getting up at 5 a.m. than I have at any other time of the day. Because I get my mastermind in for 2 hours. I get my exercise in for an hour. I do the school run. By the time I get to 10 o'clock, I'm back in bed.
What about the Forging Links Tech Talk then, Paul? What's happened
Yeah,
to
you,
that?
what did you do with that? You faded on that.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
No,
you
I
did,
didn't.
mate.
I went to flipping Dubai for 4 days is what I did.
Well, you're back
Yeah.
now.
No,
There's no excuse.
So
No,
when will that start
listen,
again?
what I will say, and again, I don't want to say anything out of turn. If you're looking to diversify, reach out to me personally. And the reason why I'm saying that, because I don't want to cross over anyone's boundaries here.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there are things that I can share if you want to hear. If you don't want to hear, then don't contact me. If you want to hear, contact me. Don't contact Kirsten, contact me. And then I will let you know what's going on, what we've got, whether you want to get involved or whether you don't. But I will still say to you, go back and find out what your upline are doing. And if they're not giving you any leadership, then I'm happy to. I'm not going to mess about with you. You're adults.
Oh.
You make decisions for you. If you want to diversify and make more income, you reach out to me personally. If you don't reach out to me. It's as easy as that. Because we are diversifying. Forging Links now has 7 business opportunities that we can all get involved in. And there is more coming. And you may very well have some things that we may even add to that portfolio. Richard Branson said, why would you have one business when you can have 20?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you have one when you can have 20? And I think Ruthie coined it best, you know, and this will be the closing remark now and we'll finish. Billionaires lose millions of pounds to become billionaires. Millionaires lose thousands of pounds to become millionaires. And trust me, I have lost thousands. If I told you how much money I've lost over the last 20 years, how my wife stayed with me, I have no idea. Because I've lost thousands to become millionaires. And poor people invest nothing, but they want to be rich.
Yeah.
So ask yourself the question, are you a poor people wanting to be rich? Are you a millionaire prepared to lose thousands? Or do you want to be a billionaire prepared to lose millions? Because in order to be each one of those 3, you have to be prepared to lose something.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go into some things that might not work out. And this is now my 3rd business. Okay. I now know that this will be the one that I'll succeed at the most, because the other one I've learned the bad mistakes. I trusted people that turned bad on me. I invested with people that stole from me. Now I'm in control of my wealth and my assets, and I'm not allowing anybody else to take control.
That's it. That's where we're all at.
So that's where we're at. All right, guys. Love you loads.
Yeah.
Take
Right,
care.
good night. Good night, Paul.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Take
Good
care,
night.
everybody.
Talk
Good night,
soon.
everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
Ricky and Lucy.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Ricky and Lucy. Bye.
Forging Links.
Forging Links.
Forging links, one person at a time.